get into this.
Oh, come on. What's
Pull
the
up the-
score? Yeah, but let's pull up the score on this bad boy. I know I got some insane score when I stream this for Halloween. Ooh. Oh man, there's just a lot going on. Just ate some pizza and I was letting my stomach settle and then I had like multi-ball nutness.
Yep. If it's the one that's on the left, then it's 609 million.
Yeah, that's the one. The other one is the other table.
Need a cup of Joe?
Yeah.
I've been drinking coffee all morning. I'm ready to go. Like, had a cup when I first woke up, and then I got this little gag gift that this coffee thing. It's hard to explain, but it was enough for a pot of coffee, which I'm very thankful to to those who gave it to me. Drank a pot of coffee. Oh, it's something that Freddy says. Oh yeah. I'm highly caffeinated. Woo!
Not a great start. Nothing. That's already it. No, it's not.
But I always feel like, on a scale to 1 to Cornholio, how caffeinated are you?
This is another one of those scores that I'm like lucky if I'm ever going to get close to that again.
Right. Could happen. I watched you pretty drunk play NBA Fast Break and get over 200. I was like, no, you're putting that into high score. Like, it's got to be a high score. And it was. And it was. Oh, well, cool, Dark. Yeah, check back in with us later. We'll see you soon. He's gonna go watch the Broncos play.
Rockies.
It's so strange that he's just suddenly started to watch football. Won't watch hockey, but we'll watch football.
I mean, he's sitting around more often now, so he's probably just got to find stuff to keep you busy, you know, to get invested in it.
But he just never watched it before, of like, you know. But I think because all he does is sit, because just the way his body is, his body's like all busted up and whatnot. So, you know, I think there comes a point to where you can only watch so much TV before you start.
What's up, Any Nostalgic?
Yeah, what's up, man?
It's like, I think Any Nostalgic must have an alert that if I'm playing the Nightmare on Elm Street table, he gets a special alert. How have you been? I haven't seen you or talked to you in a while.
Nope. You gotta shoot again. Ah, man. What's my score? So I got to beat 204 million is what I got to do. Well, it ain't gonna be like that. Help me! That's what I feel like. I need help. I need an adult. Oh, shit. No. What you got there? Oh, is that the,
Yeah, there's 2 left. Old jubilation.
Gabriel, yeah. Got kind of stuck, mentally stuck for a second. I was like,
This is the thing that I keep forgetting to say. We have to use these.
Have to use what?
The coasters.
Oh, yeah. Because otherwise it...
It's really hard to get them. Obviously, I can, but it's a pain in the ass.
Woo! That was spicy. Mystery. Straight drain. 37 million. Insert coin for extra ball. That is game over. Game over.
This is the Stern Cup, so it's the time to be using it. Got this from a contest from Stern. We got a shot glass as well. Alright. I think Any Nostalgic was on when I was playing this and I got that high score. Because it was a stream you weren't on when I first played. I mean, we have played this on stream after because I told you about it, but when I got that score.
Hey, any else nostalgic? That's all good, man. Of like, we're gonna be here for a long time, so we've already got Dark. He's gonna, poke in and out, every once in a while. So, but we appreciate you coming by, man.
Yeah.
Of like, you taking a phone call is no biggie to us. We do not demand your attention.
We demand it.
No, we demand it. We demand your attention. Anytime that we stream, we want eyeballs on, locked in, heart to heart. Yeah, Dr. Doobie, it was awesome hanging out with you. Of like, we are going to be trucking through a 12-hour stream, so definitely feel welcome to come back anytime, man. Oh, yeah. Any nostalgic said that, don't forget about the quad save that's available in the middle, if you have a way to trigger it.
Right,
we
dude.
do.
It's right there. It's the... All these buttons work now. I made sure of that.
Help me!
Oh, I don't know how I saved that. I love that sound.
Jackpot!
Especially when it's Robert Englund as Freddy telling me jackpot.
Yeah. Does he say that in any of the movies?
No, he recorded special just for this table. Like, that's really him. He recorded for this pinball for tables certain phrases that are just specific to this, which is
Awesome.
super cool. Because usually when they get sounded like, it's always some bad. Like, come on, it's not that hard, guys. They always choose some like, oh, you sound the least like this person. You're hired.
Yeah.
Damn it! And I had the claw thing.
Can you do it? All right. Just put a microphone in. Like, I feel like sometimes they just
on the
randomly,
street,
yeah,
yeah.
just go out on the street and randomly pick somebody.
I had to save again, guys, and that was the time to use it.
All right, cool. Yeah. Ness said that we don't have to call them NES nostalgic. Ness is fine if that's a
Ness?
little bit easier. Yeah.
Nessie. Sure. There it is.
Hey, I kind of stumble, and you know, I've said this before. I'm pretty highly caffeinated. Like, feel myself shaking. I feel shaking.
So how have you been? What have you been up to?
Yeah, man, what's up?
All right, 216 million makes me feel better. Almost 230 million. You're up.
I have not heard of that band, so I am going to on Spotify right now and looking that up.
Oh, awesome. Where in Africa did you go? So you just got back from a trip to Africa.
I've got that loaded. Yeah, what about Africa?
He just got back on Christmas Eve from a trip there.
Oh, awesome.
Started in Victoria Falls and then Cape Town.
Oh, cool. That's South Africa, right?
I mean, Cape Town I think for sure is, but... I've never been out of the country.
Neither have I.
Victoria Falls is in Zimbabwe, about 4-hour flight north. So did you do the safari?
Got it.
Victoria Falls is one of the 7 wonders of the world. Huge waterfall. We did one safari.
All right, that's cool.
When I was
I'd go to
shooting,
Africa. That seems awesome.
when I was working at that expo, the outdoor expo, they had a lot of like package deal booths and stuff.
Sure.
And they had a lot of safaris and stuff. So I got to learn a lot about like the safari packages and stuff. I mean, some of them were like $50,000. Like these were insane. Like they fly you in a Percy helicopter and you got your own chef. I'm like, I don't know how many people you're gonna get walking through this place with that.
No.
He said he couldn't recommend it more. It was an incredible trip. Yeah, that's what I've heard from people that have gone there. And that's a lot. I mean, you only went literally to one area. I mean, if you think about it, because there's all that stuff up. You know, you got Egypt is also in Africa. You got all that stuff up north. You got south. You got jungles, desert, Sahara. Like, there's
mountains.
you got so much different stuff in Africa that people just think of like zebras and elephants, you know, and then they're, you know, and that's it. A lot of people don't forget that Egypt is even part of it.
Right? Oh man, not doing. This has not been a great day for me on pinball. But what do I got to beat? 204,000. I'm at 156.
204 million.
Or 204 million, excuse me. And I'm at 156 million.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Cape Town's super developed.
All right, got another multi-ball. Nope.
Kim keeps telling me that I need to get my passport, go to some tropical island.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's all I've been wanting to do for years. I'm like, I need a reset. That's a full reset, a vacation where I'm just sitting on a beach.
That's what I did when I went to Florida. It was pretty great.
Oh, nice. Just Cause. That's a fun series. Yeah, we'll be here.
We ain't going anywhere.
I think I've played all of the Just Cause.
Oh.
It was 5's last one. I don't know if I played that one.
All right, cool. Well, I got close to my high score, so not so bad.
Yeah, I had like 230 million, so I mean, I don't know how close that is to mine. But at least it wasn't, I mean, well, it's not very close, but compared to the 20 million I got before, it's a huge difference.
Yeah. I haven't played Just Cause.
It's kind of like open world, kind of like Far Cry, I would say, ish. Lots of cool vehicles and weapons, and it's a really fun game.
Sweet.
It's definitely more, I'd say definitely more arcadey. It's just like a really fun sandbox to just do a bunch of stuff in. I hit it at the right time, but I don't have it. When I remember to use the claw, I don't have it. I don't need to.
So another movie that came out this year that I watched was Bill Burr with Old Dads. Mm-hmm. It was okay, honestly. Of like not as funny as his stand-up comedy and whatnot. It's a little bit more of like a heartfelt kind of movie and whatnot. But and it touches on like generational topics and whatnot. Of like there's no spoilers, but one of the plots is that these three best friends are in business together, and they sell their business, and the new owner comes in, and he's a millennial, right? So there's, you know, that adds to the intrigue. There's, you know, it talks about being a dad, you know, that's older in comparison, because I think there's something that's a little bit more difficult as you get older and having kids, because you're not as young. You can't, like, you're a little bit more limited into, you know, how much you can do with a little kid, especially when they want to play rough and you have like low energy because you're old. Because let's face it, you know, like, you don't have the same energy as, you know, like when you're 50 years old, you don't have the same energy as a 20-year-old. You just don't.
That's what cocaine is for.
Yeah. Just do a couple lines, it'll be okay.
I've saved 4 souls. I didn't know that was what I was trying to do, but hey, you know, sometimes you accidentally save a soul.
Yeah. You attempt to devour them, but, you know, you saved them. They came to Jesus.
And come on.
No.
And I had it again! I always do it right after. You're up.
I can just bring this with me. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
My top 5 movies this year. Number 5 was The Killer. Michael Fassbender, David Fincher, one of my favorite directors. Very much how Fight Club was about consumerism. This is about the American workforce and kind of the mundane, except that he's a hitman. He treats everything just like it's a normal job, but everything just keeps going wrong for him. So it's like really much a satire, but not done as a comedy.
Right.
Definitely Michael Fassbender's best performance in a lot of years. Number 4 was Super Mario Brothers movie. It took them 30 years to make another one, and they of course made it animated, which was what it probably should have been.
Honestly,
to begin with.
that was a surprising movie. I watched that recently, so I was like, didn't know what to expect. Of like, they start off in like the human world, and then they go into whatever world.
Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, Mushroom Kingdom. It was like Land of the Koopas.
Yeah, that was really just nailed it. Jack Black's perfect as Bowser.
Yeah. Some musical performances.
Peaches. There's a petition right now because it didn't get best song for Oscar. Like, come on, people. We don't need The Color Purple to win. It's gonna, you know, those movies, those type of things always win. can we have something that's like fun? Like, where's the fun? The Oscar people, they want tragedy. You know, it's always got to be a Macbethan type of scenario.
Right.
People enjoy having fun as well, guys.
Someone's got to die in a movie. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, and no one dies in Mario. No one. Not even Bowser.
People seem to, on Instagram, love the Mean Drunks video that I posted. So,
Do I get it? No, I should have clawed. What button is that?
my number 3 movie of the year is Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan, my favorite director of all time. And I usually I'm not a big fan of biopics just because it's like they follow such a similar formula, especially musical biopics. It's the same formula over and over again. But
and they cut out so much.
Christopher Nolan, it's done like a blockbuster film because that's the type of director he does. So it jumps between Oppenheimer's life at different times throughout there, and it's tense, even though it's a 3-hour movie.
Sure.
It's tense because they're racing against the Nazis to make an atomic bomb, and you get all these people coming together. And then later on in his life, he was like pretty much discredited. And very much had a not a very good ending years because he was a proponent against using
these weapons. Yeah. And the thing is like,
twice.
And he quotes the Bhagavad Gita. I forget how the actual sutra that he quotes, but he makes a very grim statement after he realizes what exactly kind of destruction that they've invented. And years afterwards, he became a proponent against nuclear weapons.
And they tried to discredit him, like they went so much, like he was a communist sympathizer because before the war, there were people in America that were communist, but it's not communist in the sense of what Russia was.
Right.
It was a different they wanted things to be shared more equally between people. Like the very, very basic of what communism is, not what the dictatorships have used it as in all of these years.
Right.
And so he was briefly went to some of the events, and this is way before Russia and all this other stuff. So they threw that stuff out at all these hearings afterwards, and he's like, they're like, no, that's not the same thing.
Yeah, I'm absolutely against communism, but when I still go and listen to what they have to say, of like, to get perspective, sure, because I'm a curious individual.
Yeah, this is like
you couldn't be
1930s communism.
Yeah.
Like this is not Russia Cold War, and they were trying to go after him in the 50s.
Or Maoist China.
Yeah, none of that stuff. So, and it was like all he did was go to a few events because he was very much a free thinker. He didn't go there necessarily because he believed in all these things. He just wanted to get different perspectives. And so, but it was just Cillian Murphy, best performance of his career. Robert Downey Jr. proving that he is more than Iron Man, does such an amazing job in that movie. As a subdued, his role is so much more subdued. And you expect this kind of hyperactive, because that's not even just Iron Man. That's even when he played Holmes and even his earlier roles, he was always that he played that high energy. So to play against type so well, he did such an amazing job. And the score is good, and Christopher Nolan always shoots in film, so it's shot in film, and there's no CG. He does everything he's ever done. All the Inception room, all of the stuff in Batman, all that stuff is practical effects. He just highly believes, and people believe in something when they know it's real. Even if it's something that's not real in real life, that you really made it. Like they don't show the Hiroshima and all that. There's no reason to.
No.
But he did show that very first test because that was important to be like, this works.
Right.
Because in our history, they didn't know, because theoretically, once that bomb first went off, it could have destroyed the world. That was a real fear.
They had no idea.
They had no idea. So the bomb going off, the special effects and all that stuff is practical.
Right.
It is not CG at all. So like that's just a dedication.
And honestly, isn't there real footage of the tests? Or
No, I mean he recreated it in the film.
no, I'm asking if like legit like. Oh, I missed it. Missed my skill shot.
Is there? Yes, there are video of it, real video. We have some
Straight
that we
line.
tested in the Pacific as well.
Yeah.
As a kind of like nudge to Japan before we did it. We have a video of that as well.
I know. Russia tested one bomb that was so massive that it was Norway, Finland, one of those countries tested for earthquake activity because of how much it shook the ground. I mean, these are having that kind of tech out there is scary, you know.
Yeah, but it's the mutual destruction. That's what happens. So number 2 was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse was so amazing, and I didn't know how they'd be able to top that. The animations somehow better. The story is more adult. There's tons of cool new Spider people. Punk Spider-Man's my guy now. That was just expertly done.
I like the story of Miles of like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Focusing on yes, Peter B. Parker is in it, and he's older, and but he's not the main character.
Well, we've had decades of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Okay, of like having Miles as a new protagonist breathes fresh air into
And choosing Spot, which is such an obscure villain to use.
Yeah.
And like having Spider-Man 2099, like that's just amazing to have at all. But my number 1 movie of the year is John Wick Chapter 4. Keanu Reeves has proved once again that he is the action star of the 21st century. He is like wine, he gets better with age. The stunts that they do in that movie are stunts that will stand the test of time. And the accumulation of a very, if you guys have not seen John Wick, is a very deep mythology for those movies.
Yeah.
And it's just so expertly done. Everything coming to a head, finishing out his story. Such an amazing job. And for something that is so violent, because Gun Fu is really something that John Wick's made famous, and now all these action stars are starting to do movies like that. And he's like the nicest guy in the world. You know, like he's not out there shoot. He doesn't even like really shoot guns. It's just like.
Apparently, he did a lot of training, and he's like.
Oh no, he's very serious. Like he's very like. They were required when he got signed on. Everybody in the Matrix to learn martial arts. They had to do their own stunts. The Wachowskis were very, very adamant that they did not want to use stunt doubles.
Yeah.
You needed to be able to do this on your own. And so he just got a bug, you know, which a lot of actors, they have to train and do different things for a role that they find. Like Paul Newman did a racing movie when he was young, and he was a lifelong racer. He raced Indy cars and all kinds of stuff because it was a big thing. It was something he's like, wow, this is awesome. I want to do this for the rest of my life. And that's how Keanu Reeves was with martial arts. He's continued to keep up with that. It aligns with, you know, because martial arts isn't about beating up people.
Well, he's also super into like motorcycles and whatnot.
Yeah.
So if like you take a look at this personal interest, it's not really a surprise. And besides, like competitive shooting is pretty fun. Shooting a gun can be a lot of fun. You're not, and I'm not trying to make it seem like a toy because it's definitely a weapon. But there's a sense of accomplishment that you get for hitting your targets.
If you got 90 dudes you got to get through to get out of an hotel, you better have some John Wick training.
Yeah.
But what I like about the movie is Donnie Yen he never got to the heights that the Jet Li's and Jackie Chan's did, but he every movie he is in, he is better. The IP Man series is absolutely amazing.
Oh, man,
he
yeah,
was so good in Rogue One.
Yeah.
And in John Wick, he plays a blind character, and he studied how would a blind person fight, like how would they use sound and all this stuff.
Right.
And like real blind people were like just describing like how it is. They're like, that's exactly how you would use sound to get through an area and to know where people are at. You use your other senses.
Sure.
Because they do heighten, not to Daredevil level, obviously, but
No,
but
not at all.
they are heightened.
A little bit. The thing is like because you're
you
focusing,
focus on it more.
Of like you're reliant on it. Of like if you were blind and all you have is your hearing, you're gonna focus on your hearing because it's a scary place.
Yeah.
The world's a scary place if you can't see what's going on. Of like it's almost better to be deaf than it is to be blind. You may not be able to hear things, but you can at least see it.
Yeah.
You don't have any problems walking around. Where if you're blind, dude, I feel for it. Like my dad's eyes are getting pretty bad. He has glaucoma.
But he was talking about the scores 156-0.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a real score. I mean, I can tell you it's probably not.
Yeah, Dark. What's going on with that Ravens score? Of like, that's pretty high for football.
I don't think there's ever been a score in the 3 digits.
I mean, it makes sense for basketball. I mean,
There's been some insane college ones. If they have like a bigger like college go against some smaller college,
yeah, where they just get
they'll get like
destroyed.
90. I've seen that. I've heard of that in my life. All right, some honorable mention movies, guys. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Don't, if you've not seen it, because people told you that it was worse than Crystal Skulls, which is impossible. Nothing can be worse than that movie. It is a good movie. It is. Did we need to have another Indiana Jones movie? No, we did not. But Harrison Ford's done such an amazing job kind of doing this farewell tour to all of his popular characters. He did Force Awakens, he did the Blade Runner 2049,
Yeah.
and they play, all of the action scenes are playing to him being older.
Yeah.
They're not making it, he's not in a refrigerator surviving an explosion. Like
Yeah.
it's fun. It's a fun movie. The only thing I didn't like is it had a very cheesy, dumb ending. But other
was
than
a
that,
joke.
I thought
Okay.
it was really, really well done. So if you guys are hearing the internet tell you that, most of people haven't even seen the movie probably.
What I like about what Harrison Ford has kind of done is it really feels like he's passing the torch. He's being realistic about his age, but it feels like his legacy is going to carry on. Not if like, oh, he's always going to be remembered as like, he's always going to be remembered as Indiana Jones anyway. Of like, no matter what, like that's it. Of like,
Yeah, nobody else is Han Solo.
like no one's going to be Han Solo. That's impossible to recast. Of like, it's perfect. He's too perfect in that role. The same thing with Indy. You can make another Indiana Jones-like movie.
Well, and he's also, this is a year that we had people that I grew up with, actors that would never do TV. It was frowned upon. Like if you were a certain level star, you never. Now
Yeah.
we're in a different era of TV with Netflix and stuff where you'll have big movie stars
Right.
being limited series and stuff. But we had Stallone in a TV series. We had Arnold Schwarzenegger in Fubar, which was absolutely amazing, which is basically a sequel to True Lies. He was in there, and then Harrison Ford was in 2 TV shows. He was in a Yellowstone prequel, and he was in my #1 TV show, Shrinking, this year, where he plays this old, cranky psychiatrist with Jason Segel. It's like the best mix of drama and comedy I've ever seen.
Okay.
It is so funny and so sad. And it's just so expertly done, like written like real people. But Harrison Ford being funny is not something I think about.
Sure.
Like, he's snarky. Like,
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is funny because he's snarky, but it's like a different type of comedy.
Well, so is Han Solo.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
He comes off with these off-cuff comments and whatnot of like, that
He's
works.
witty. It's a
Yeah.
different type of thing. And in this, he's laugh out loud funny in this.
Okay.
And it's really, really well done. So he's just also, he's 80 years old, and he's still reinventing himself as an actor. And that shows that somebody still has a passion for
Right.
their career. And so I felt that in Indiana Jones. It was made with a lot of love, even though it's the only one that's not directed by Spielberg. I think it was really well done. The de-aging in the beginning, that scene, people have had problems with that. I thought it looked fine. I don't think de-aging's ever going to look perfect if you know that the actor isn't that age. Your brain, no matter how good it's looked, is going to tell you that's not true. The uncanny valley is always going to happen, no matter how good it is. But that sequence was amazing. I thought it was a really great opening sequence, showing Indy younger. The fact that they brought back Nazis.
Yeah.
Time travel, that's the only thing left for Indiana Jones to do besides Atlantis. So I think that they did a really good job. And another honorable mention movie, it's your turn.
All right, cool.
Another honorable mention movie for me, guys, is Saw X. Saw X was a return to form to the earlier Saw movies. A, because you had Tobin Bell back. Nobody else is going to play Jigsaw. They've had too many movies of him, like it either takes place at the same time or he had so many people with his legacy.
Yeah.
That it got ridiculous. They went back to basics. Tobin Bell, it takes place between Saw 1 and 2. You brought back Amanda. Really good twist, really simplistic story, and it was great to see Tobin Bell back. And it's exactly what, it is probably the best Saw movie besides the first one, by far. It is very well done. The twists aren't forced, because you know where it's going to go, because it takes place in between. Like if you do a prequel or an in-between cool, that's a real thing now.
Yeah.
If you do that, you can only do so much because you know where the story's going to go.
Right.
And so, I think that they did an amazing job with that. It did really well, too, so it wasn't just... And my last honorable mention for films, guys, was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. James Gunn really went out on top, leaving Marvel to go head DCU. So now we're looking forward in the future with a new DC universe headed by James Gunn. Guardians of the Galaxy, the most consistent trilogy that Marvel has put out. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was exactly how you end a trilogy of films. You do a retrospective of everything that's happened. The characters all have some sort of finality, but also things go on. Everybody has to die. But it was sad. You got to see Rocket's background, and it was very sad. It was, of course, very funny. The action was well done, and it didn't feel like there was anything left to say. It's kind of like a final performance from a musician. They should go out and leave everything on that stage, right?
Right.
That's it. I'm done. Finito. And that's very much what Guardians did. So I feel like the only good thing that Marvel did this year was that. So if you guys haven't seen that, you should. And I don't know why Chris Pratt just gets so much hate, but he was in 2 good movies. I think he did fine as Mario. It didn't distract me. He didn't try to be too Italian.
I didn't even know that Chris Pratt was in it until I looked up the movie.
I mean, I sounded like Chris Pratt, but he didn't try. That's what I'm saying. He didn't try to do a Mario voice. I think that would have been worse. So I really appreciate that. But let me know, guys, what are some of your favorite films that you watched this year? It didn't have to come out this year. I know a lot of people really enjoy Barbie. I couldn't watch it. Not because I'm against Barbie. Like, if a movie's good, I really actually don't care what it's based on. Yeah. I watch football movies and sports movies.
Sure.
I've watched movies based on UFC. I don't watch that either.
Hey, hold on. Hot take. What's your opinion of Field of Dreams?
I like Field of Dreams.
All right, cool. We can be friends.
I think, why is that? That's a beloved movie. I think people are hating on Kevin Costner right now. It's popular. So
really? I didn't know that. I don't know much about media and celebrities and whatnot.
So Kevin Costner is causing a big uproar right now because you got that Yellowstone show that's really popular, which is this about this family of ranchers, and I would say I've never seen it. This is what I've heard from multiple people though. It's more of a show that probably these people are probably right-leaning type of people,
sure.
Some ranchers or whatever like that.
Sure.
I've never heard anything about the show being political. It's just about this family and it's drama,
sure.
soap opera-y, whatever,
okay.
right? he left the series and they never finished. He's the main character.
Okay.
It like brought him back because he hadn't really had a hit in a long time, and he was like executive producer. He had all these different roles, and he wanted more control and more money. And Ty Sheridan, who was the showrunner and writer, was like, "Fuck you," and so he was like stormed off like an asshole and didn't finish out the scenes for. So they're in court right now. Because, like, no, you come finish your shit.
Right.
And now they're continuing the stories. Because now it's got spin-offs. Like, Harrison Ford's in a spin-off. There's another, I think, the 1823, him and Helen Mirren. That's the same family decade. You know, they're showing, like, different generations of the same Duttons. That's what they are.
Okay.
But apparently he's just been a total dick about it. And he just left this kind of western-y type of show, even though it's modern. But these are ranchers. To just go do another western thing. It's not like he left to go do something else. And I guess he's been a dick about it. It's what I've been hearing.
All right.
So, but no, other than that, I like Kevin Costner, but he is an egomaniac. And this, even his first round of being popular, you got what, Field of Dreams, you got Dances with Wolves, you got a couple other movies that he did during then. But then what ended up happening, Waterworld. Right. So, I mean,
that movie's great. If you haven't seen it, stop what you're doing, keep us on your stream, but go watch that movie. Put it on another tab. You're missing out if you haven't seen that. No, I'm totally lying. That movie's not great. It is a
horrible movie. And
it tries to do like a Mad Max thing without doing the crazy shit that Mad Max offers.
Well, I think the problem is that it costed at the time like $200 million.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of in that era. It was the most expensive movie at the time, and it lost the most amount of money. I don't know if that's true now. We have big movies like, you know, Flash and a lot of DC movies that came out this year that have been flops. That's been a big thing. Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny was also a flop, and everybody's so quick to be like, ooh, superhero movies are over. People don't like franchises. Just because a couple of movies don't do well, it's
especially at the box office.
And I think that the real thing here, guys, is that Marvel's consistency isn't because people don't like comic book movies anymore and it's oversaturated. It's that they started getting lazy with their stories. Ant-Man and Quantumania was a boring movie.
Yeah, it's just not great.
That's why. Indiana Jones the Dial of Destiny, I think that it was a bad word of mouth. People wanted to hate on it because it's Disney.
Right.
I think it's just fun to hate on Disney. And it's like, hey, I get it. They are an evil corporation. I'm not going to defend their corporate ways by any stretch. They've definitely monopolized a lot of my favorite things, and it sucks. I hate that Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel.
Yeah.
But again, that doesn't mean that they didn't make good.
But
there would be no MCU. There'd be no shared franchises. We got to have Andor and Ahsoka. We got the last season of Clone Wars because of Disney.
Right.
They never finished the cartoon. They finished Rebels. They've done good things for the fans. And there are a lot of people that love, you know, their live action, you know, Beauty and the Beasts and all that.
Sure.
I don't like those movies anyway.
Hey, yo, the live Jungle Book, that movie's fire.
But which one, though? Because there's two.
No,
there's
two.
One that Jon Favreau did, and then there's one that Andy Serkis does. You know who he is? He's Gollum. And he's Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. He's also a director. He directed, I think it's Mogwai is that one, so that's if it's not called that. And that one's supposed to be the superior one, but most people didn't see it because he called it Mogwai instead of Jungle Book, so people didn't know what it was based on. You know what I'm saying? Unless you knew the source material.
Yeah.
So that is...
Jungle Book's one of my favorite Disney movies anyway. I like some Disney, you know, I like The Little Mermaid.
I like
No Shame in My Game.
Hole. That's such a horrible movie. Have you ever seen it?
You seen what?
Black Hole.
No, I haven't.
It was their answer to Star Wars in 1980. It was just atrocious.
What about
we want to make a Star Wars type of movie, but we don't want a good script or put any money behind it.
There you go. That'll win over the fans.
Sell, yeah.
You know, it's a surprisingly good movie for the 80s, and it did not age well. The Last Starfighter.
I think it aged. What did age well about it?
Well, it's very 80s of
Oh yeah.
It's very.
I was actually hearing a video about this not that long ago, where if we look back in previous decades, right, of culture, 80s is the only one so far in the history of entertainment and stuff like that that consistently so many generations. There are people that, like, for me, I could have a kid that's in their 20s, and there's other people that could have kids in their teens, and then young kids or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So there's like almost 2 generations after me.
Generations, sure.
Right? Every single one of them has something from the 80s they like, whether it be music, you know, there's like, I saw like something about posted on Instagram, and it was a friend that I have, and her daughter, who's like 8 years old, she like posted on her account, not the 8-year-old's account, but her mom's account, a video, and she was singing The Cure. And I'm like,
that's
80s awesome. Has aged different for pop culture.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I think that's why. So like, saying it's totally 80s isn't the same thing as saying like that's a totally 50s movie. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like, there's a lot of things that are did not age well from the 1950s.
Sean Connery just got a little slap.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a lot. Sean Connery's Bond did a lot of really not very good things. I understand, like, there was something, I saw an article and they're talking about, like, if Bond needs information because the world's going to end and he needs to manipulate a girl to sleep with him, knowing that she's going to die because she's the bad guy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's called a casualty of war. That's not womanizing. He did that to get the information he needed to save millions of lives.
Right.
That's different than him being like, I want to bang this chick and I know she's going to die. Or there's one where he uses a woman as a human shield. Now, those are differently unacceptable things. But if it's in the process of saving millions of lives, that's a different scenario.
Right. And what if she's a bad bitch too? You know, like,
not like a bad bitch, like, damn, you a bad bitch, you're hot. Like, not that. Like, she's just bad.
Yeah, she's just evil. She's an evil woman.
Octawussy.
Octawussy. Almost. Mystery, what do I get? Coffee, what?
Next up, guys, after Dead's turn, we are going to be moving on. Actually, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a dual break here, because this is halfway during our pinball.
Oh.
We're going to come back with some Street Fighter 2.
Pinball.
Some Doctor Who, and I'm probably going to need to choose something else besides Whodunit, just because I don't want to mess with that right now. So I'll think of that.
There's plenty to choose from.
I think that I'm going to go with the retro jukebox one, the video game one, with the Pac-Man and all that.
Oh, okay.
Because that's a good one as an we'll do that as the last table, and that'll be a perfect segue into the arcade.
Yeah.
Look at that planning. I should get paid millions of dollars for this.
Tip me right now. No.
We did get a tip.
We did?
When somebody cheers you bits, that's money that they're cheering you.
Yeah, that's awesome. I forgot
Dr. Doobie did that for us. Those were some cool guys.
Yeah, that was awesome. I hope they come around more often. Because I'd really like to be more a part of the vpin community. I mean, we are playing a lot of pinball, you know? Like, every Saturday we're jamming in sessions.
So during this Be Right Back, we're going to have a special video of yours truly. So if you love seeing my face, well, good for you, because you're going to see it again during the break.
A lot more of it.
And it's going to be my top 5 games of the year.